He posted a photo last weekend. Big smile, good light. Caption that made people comment goals. He took that photo on the worst day he'd had in months. Not to deceive anyone. Not for attention, but because somewhere between the camera and the caption, pretending felt easier than explaining. And the likes came in. And people said he looked happy. And for about 11 minutes, he almost believed them. Stay with me, because pretending to be happy is not what most people think it is. It's not vanity, it's not weakness. It's a survival strategy so old, most people don't even remember learning it. Picture someone like Ethan, early 30s, social, the kind of person who makes every room feel warmer. People gravitate toward him. He's easy to be around. But here's what nobody at those gatherings knows. Ethan has been pretending for so long he's not entirely sure where the pretending ends and he begins. Ask him how he is. He'll say, good, busy, can't complain. And he means it in the moment. Because the moment he says it, the performance kicks in and something in him genuinely tries to become it. He's not lying exactly. It's just curating. Selecting the version of himself that the room can handle, that won't make things heavy, that won't require anyone to do the uncomfortable work of actually responding. And he's been doing it so long, the unfiltered version barely gets airtime anymore. Even alone. Even in his own head, pretending to be happy rarely starts as a conscious decision. It starts as a reading of the room. It's a child who learned early that their sadness made the people around them uncomfortable. A parent who needed them to be okay so the household could function. A family where happiness was performed at the dinner table regardless of what happened before it. And the child adapts, because children always adapt. They learn to smile at the right moments, to laugh before anyone gets uncomfortable. To answer, I'm fine with such conviction that eventually the question stops being asked at all. Ethan remembers being 8 years old and his parents were going through something. He didn't know the details. He just knew the house felt fragile. And he remembers making a joke at dinner one night and watching his mother's face relax for the first time in weeks. He felt it then. That specific power. The ability to change the temperature of a room just by choosing to be okay. He never stopped using it, even when it started costing him more than he had. The cost of pretending to be happy is not obvious at first. It shows up slowly, in layers. The first thing it costs is authenticity in relationships. When you've spent years showing people the curated version, the connections that form are real but incomplete. People love Ethan, but they love the Ethan he constructed for them. And the real Ethan, the one who is sometimes not fine, has never been loved, because he's never been shown. The second thing it costs is the ability to ask for help. When your identity is built around being okay, needing something feels like a betrayal of who you are. So you don't ask, you manage. You perform okayness right up until the moment you can't anymore. And the third thing, the one nobody talks about, is that pretending eventually becomes believing. Not real belief, but a kind of numbness, where the performance has run so long that the feelings underneath it stop knocking. They're still there. They just learned, like Ethan did at 8, that nobody is coming to answer the door. Now, choosing to be positive isn't the same thing as pretending. There are people who genuinely reframe difficulty, who choose gratitude not as a performance, but as a practice, who are okay not because they're hiding something, but because they've worked through it. The difference is what happens in private. Genuine positivity feels the same alone as it does in public. Pretending feels like taking off a costume when the door closes. Only you know which one it is. And if you're honest with yourself, you've always known. Ethan told someone the truth last year. Not everything, just that he wasn't doing great. 3 words he hadn't said out loud in longer than he could remember. He said it quietly, almost like a test. Waiting for the discomfort, waiting for the subject to change, waiting for the room to need him to take it back. The person just said, I know. I've been waiting for you to say that. And something in Ethan, Something that had been performing for 20 years went very quiet, not fixed, not resolved, just seen. For the first time in a long time, the pretending didn't disappear overnight. Habits that old don't, but something shifted in that moment. He realized the room had been safe for a while. He just never stopped to check. If you pretend to be happy, you are not fake. You are not shallow. You are not broken. You are someone who learned very early that your happiness was a gift you could give to other people. And you have been giving it quietly, consistently, at your own expense. You are allowed to keep some for yourself. If this one found you, share it with someone who needs permission to stop pretending today.